Hey, I'm Tony Morelan with the Samsung Developer Program. Today we're talking publishing. So you've created a watch face design and now you're ready to sell it on the Galaxy Store. How do you do that? Well, you actually have to become approved to become a publisher for Samsung. What you do is you submit an application along with one of your watch face designs during what is called the open window. So the open window is several times a year. Samsung allows new designers to apply to become publishers. You submit an application along with your watch face design, and the review team will look at it and decide if they think you have the skills to become a watch face designer and can offer something unique on the Galaxy Store. So let me show you how that's done and how to check when the next open window is. Okay, to check and see if the window is open, go to developer.samsung.com. You'll want to go down to the Design tab and select Galaxy Watch. From here, click the Overview button to get to the Overview page for Galaxy Watch Studio. Now you can see here on this, currently there's an update to the process for applying. You can read a little bit about that, but if you want to get the full information on becoming a watch face designer, click the Submit an Application link. Here, this information explains exactly how the review works. Currently, the window is closed. It's on this page that you would see a notification that the window is open, but this page explains what it is to submit an application, what's required. It gives you all of the information that you need. So let's assume that you have applied and you've become accepted. How do you submit your app to the Galaxy Store for publishing? Well, you do that by going to the website seller.samsungapps.com. Now, you'll need to log into your Seller Office account. So let me go ahead and do that. Okay, once your Seller portal page opens, you click the red button in the upper corner here, Add a New Application. We're going to add a Galaxy Watch, and we want to keep the default language set to English, regardless of your native language. Okay, so this is the application page where you're going to start filling out your information. But one thing to note is we want to change the mode from simple to advanced. This just opens up a couple new fields into the application page here. So make sure you switch from simple to advanced. So you can notice here on the left sidebar, we've got some sections here: app information, binary, country, region, and price. These top three are required. You will have to fill out those different pages. We'll start from the app information page first. Now you'll notice here there are a couple areas to save your app as you're working on the information. You can click Save Here, or in this little pop-up window, you can click Save Here. This Submit button will actually turn red once you've filled out all of the required information. So at this time it is grayed out. Just note that as you're working on this, hit the Save button frequently. When you go between the different pages, app information, binary, country, price, you will have to hit Save each time before you go to a new page for the application to remember what you had typed on that page. Okay, so the first thing that I want to talk about is this little add button here. What this is you're filling out this application right now all in English. If you wanted to set your application to appear in another language in a different country, you would actually click this add button. And what this does is it allows you to add different languages. So the Galaxy Store in Italy, using that as an example, if I were to click Italian and hit Save, what that does is that allows me to set an entire application form strictly in Italian. So only Italian users of the Galaxy Store will see that information. So you can write all of your text in Italian and it'll appear just for them. You don't have to add this extra language. You can just leave it as English as the default. That just means throughout the world, regardless of what country and native language they speak, they will see your information in English. However, for this example, we're just going to go ahead and use default as English. All right, so let's fill out the application title. So this is where you're going to give a descriptive title to what your watch face is. Sometimes developers will start the title of each of their watch face apps with the name of their company. So as an example, if I were to do that for me, my brand name is Xeer. I would type Xeer, and then I would put the name of my watch face. This one is called Pop Art. That way in the Galaxy Store, when your watch face appears, it will start with your brand name first as your title of your watch face, which just helps it stand out from others. You don't have to do that, and you can see many designers do not do that. Sometimes they'll even come up with sort of like a product ID. So maybe I would do something like this. X205, and my next watch face could be X206, followed by X207. So you can always do something like that if you wanted to, but for this example, I'm just going to keep it as pop art. Okay, for the description, you're going to put in all of the information about your watch face, the special features, something unique about it. So I've already pre-written some text here, so I've got a nice little paragraph describing what this watch face is and who inspired it. That will be my description. Tags. Now, tags are the different keywords that potential customers can search by for your watch face to appear. So I've already come up with some tags. And you can submit up to 5 tags. Okay, next is the icon. The icon is the image of your watch face that appears on the Galaxy Store when it's viewed with all of the other watch faces that are for sale. So it's very key that your icon is a nice big version of your watch face. You can see the dimensions are 512 pixels by 512 pixels, and it needs to be a PNG format. So I'm just going to drop in an icon PNG file. And there is my pop art watch face. Next are the screenshots. So you have to at least submit 4 different screenshots. You can do up to 8. The screenshots are the marketing pictures of your watch face. So this is your opportunity to show your watch being used in different environments, or you can add specifications, written text about your watch face. Think of it as all of your marketing imagery that you want to use. So I've already got 4 that I'm going to drop in place just for this example, but as I had mentioned, you can submit up to 8. The key thing to note is that the image ratio needs to be 2:1. That can either be vertical or horizontal. I suggest, for the most part, using vertical images because naturally when someone is holding their phone, it's held vertically. So if you want to fill up the entire screen of your phone when a user's viewing your page, vertical is better. Now, you can do a horizontal image. You just realize that it will show up small if the phone is held vertically when a user is looking at your seller page. They'll have to turn their phone sideways to see the full width of that horizontal image. And if you want to reposition the order of them, you can just click and drag. You can always delete by hitting an X and add up to 4 more for a total of 8. Okay, coming down to the category section. So on this, you've got 2 opportunities to select the category. Both of these should be selected first to watch faces, and you'll notice a subcategory then appears. So here you can select, this watch face is based on art. And for the second category here, I could select, let me go with interactive because there are some buttons on here that reveal different information when you tap them. For age restriction, primarily this is for if you've created an app that's a game that you want to restrict the age of the user. In this case, it's a watch face, so I'm just going to select 0. I don't have to fill out anything for the rating certification. I do have to add supported languages, and in this case, I am just going to add English. Now, if my watch face information was displayed in another language, like let's say I wanted an Italian version of the watch face, not my seller page where people read about my watch, but the actual information on the watch itself. So maybe the days of the week, Monday and Tuesday, if that was written in Italian, I would select Italian here. But in this case, it is an English watch face, so I'm just selecting English. It is not an open source app, so I do not have to put anything for open source URL or privacy policy. If you wanted to, you could add something there. Now, if I've created a promo video that I've posted to YouTube about this watch face, I can add the YouTube URL here. One thing to note, when you add a YouTube video to your seller page, that image will appear first in front of all of your screenshots. There is no way to position your video to come second or third. It appears first in the screenshots, and then if you scroll to the left, you will then see the other screenshot images. Copyright holder. So here you can put the name of your brand, or you can put your own name if you would like. I'll just put the name of my brand. My support email. And then my support URL. So if you have a website already, I would suggest adding the URL for your contact page. Notify result, that is if you're working like with a team of designers and you all want to be notified when your app has been approved, or maybe it's been rejected, and then there's a notification that explains why your watch face was rejected. Notify result is where you would add in the additional emails for the people on your team. In my case, it's just myself, so I will not put one there. So here is where it is very key that you click save before moving to another page in the application. So I do not want to click one of these other subpages. I want to click save. So I can either click save here, or I can click it in this little pop-up. Okay, so that page is saved. Now I'm going to go over to binary. Binary is the actual file that has been generated from Galaxy Watch Studio that you upload. This is called the TPK file. And you create a TPK file by going to Galaxy Watch Studio, up to the Project tab, and select Build. Okay, once you've got your TPK file built, you select the Add Binary button. And here, you should just select 360 by 360. What you're doing is selecting the watches that are compatible with this design. So this design is a 360 by 360 design. So you would select this option here. Okay, for Google Mobile Services, this primarily applies to people who've created apps that use Google services like Gmail or Google Maps. For watch faces, they don't use Google Mobile Services. The reason is that China does not allow for the use of Google. So that would mean if you've created an app that uses a Google service, you would click yes to exclude China. But in this case, we are not using any of Google services, so we are going to select no. That means this watch face will be available to those in China. Okay, to upload the binary, you're going to select the upload button, and then you're going to navigate to your watch face TPK file. And if you receive this notification, this means that you have a character that is not compatible with uploading. In my case, the title of my TPK actually had a space in it. So I'm going to go over to my TPK file and remove that space by just replacing it with an underscore. Now, when I go to the TPK file, I can select it and I can upload it and will not receive that warning. Okay, I'm going to hit save here, and I'm going to hit save again. It is very important that you click save both times. Okay, so let's go to the last tab that we're going to work with, which is country, region, and price. Okay, so here I can leave the price set to free if I wanted to just offer this watch face for free. However, if I wanted to charge for this watch face, I would click paid. Okay, so now let's say I want to charge 99 cents. If I just put in 0.99 and hit apply, it will say, please enter the valid price. You need to put in a 0 prior to the decimal when putting in a price lower than $1. And I can hit apply. It says here, entered standard price will apply to the price for all country regions. Are you sure? I would say yes. What they're saying is that the 99 cents will be adjusted to the different rates of other countries around the world. However, if I wanted to specify the cost for this watch face in those different countries, I would click the Advanced tab, scroll down, and you can see down here, I can actually specify the exact price I would want to charge rather than having the system do the exchange rate. But in my case, I'm not going to do that just to keep things simple for this tutorial. So let me go back to the simple mode. And down here under Start Publication, what it is when it's set to the check mark for Publish After Passing Review, that means the moment that Samsung has approved your watch face, it will just be published. If I wanted this watch face to, let's say, publish on a certain date, like it's a Mother's Day watch face and I want it to be available the day before Mother's Day, I could actually come in here and set the exact date that this watch face would be available. But in this case, I'm going to leave it set to Publish After Passing Review. It is required that I select that I acknowledge this information for US export laws, and I need to hit save. I can press this save button or this save button. Notice now the submit button is red. So, and that is true for up here as well. I've met all the requirements. I can now hit submit to send this watch face application to Samsung for them to review and test. All right, that's it. That's how you publish a watch face. Once you've submitted your watch face, a review team will test your watch face to make sure that it's functioning correctly. As long as it passes the test, it will then be available in the Galaxy Store. So if you have any questions, go to developer.samsung.com. You can check out our forums or you can submit a support request. All right, that's it. Thanks.